Hello, Storytime friends. I am so sorry that we have had so many troubles with computers the last 2 weeks. Last week, I couldn't even get that video to load, and then this week it loaded, but you couldn't hear me. It, like that. It was terrible. Anyway, so I thought because I don't want to miss 2 weeks of story in a row that I would do the story time again today and load it up onto our page so that hopefully you can see it during the week. We are talking about pets this week. Who has a pet? Not everybody does, and some of us have like the normal kind, like tarantulas and lizards and I don't know, elephants. Those are the normal type, right? No, that's silly. People have dogs and cats, and some people have farm animals like chickens and horses, and some people do have lizards and tarantulas. I'm not one of those, but I thought we would read stories about a couple different kinds of pets today. Our first one is a dog story. It's kind of fun. Big dog, little dog. Fred and Ted were friends. Fred was big, Ted was little. When they walked in the rain, Fred was wet and Ted was very dry. When they painted the house, Fred used green paint and Ted used red. One day Fred and Ted went away in their cars. Ted drove his red car fast and Fred drove his green car slow. They came to a sign. "Where should we go?" asked Fred. "To the mountains," said Ted. When they got to the mountains, I'm getting a little glare there. When they got to the mountains, Ted skied all day long. Fred skated all day long. By night, both of them were very sleepy. "Look," said Fred, "a small hotel." Fred's room was upstairs. Ted's room was downstairs. "Good night, Ted. Sleep well," said Fred. "Good night, Fred. Sleep well," said Ted. Do you see a problem? They did not sleep well. Downstairs, Ted moaned and groaned and crashed and thrashed all over the bed. Upstairs, Fred thumped and bumped and tossed and turned. The next morning, Fred said, "My bed is too little." "My bed is too big," said Ted. "I know what to do," said the bird. "Ted should sleep upstairs and Fred should sleep downstairs." "Back to bed," yelled Ted. "Back to bed," yelled Fred. Ted jumped into the little bed upstairs and Fred jumped into the big bed downstairs. Ted slept all day long in the cozy little bed, and Fred slept all day long in the cozy big bed. Well, that was easy to do. Big dogs need big beds, and little dogs need little beds. Why make big problems out of little problems? So, if you have pets, do they have a bed of their own? Or do they sleep with you? I prefer mine to sleep on their beds, but some people really like animals to sleep with them. My daughter really likes to have her cat sleep with her. Okay, our next story. If you give a dog a donut. Should dogs really eat donuts? Probably not, but it's kind of a fun story. If you give a dog a donut, he'll ask for some apple juice to go with it. If you give him the juice, he'll drink it all up. Then he'll ask for more. There won't be any left, so he'll want to make his own. He'll go outside to pick apples. When he's up in the tree, he'll toss you one. Throwing the apple will make him think of baseball. He'll want to play. You'll have to get a ball and a glove. Of course, he'll also need a bat. He'll ask you to pitch. He'll hit a home run. Then he'll do a happy dance to celebrate. Dancing will make him hot and dusty, so he'll need some water. He'll probably start a water fight. You'll have to dry him off with your bandana. He'll wrap it up around his head and pretend that he's a pirate. Then he'll want to go on a treasure hunt. He'll find an old kite and want to make one himself. You'll have to get him some sticks, paper, and string. When the kite's finished, he'll want to fly it. It will go higher and higher until it gets tangled up in the apple tree. The tree will remind him of apple juice, so he'll probably ask you for some. And chances are, if he asks for some apple juice, he'll want a donut to go with it. That was a pretty fun story. So did you guys notice the kites back here? These are kites that we made. Kind of fun to make your own kite. I think that's something you guys could do. And I think it's time for some counting. First, I want to count. Let's get over here to our little screen. And we'll zoom in. Oops, wrong way. The first thing I want to count is bones for our dog. What do you think? Does your dog like bones? Here's 1 bone, 2, 3, 4, oops, and 5. How'd you do counting, friends? There are 5 juicy bones lying on the floor, and a puppy ate one. And then how many without puppies? Then there were 1, 2, 3, 4 juicy bones under a big tree, and another puppy ate one. And then there are how many without puppies? 1, 2, 3. 3 juicy bones, so fun to chew. A puppy ate another one. And then there were, how many without puppies? 1, 2. 2 juicy bones in the bright warm sun, and a puppy ate another one. And then, how many's left? There's only 1 without a puppy. 1 juicy bone, oh so yummy. And another puppy ate the last one, and he had a happy tummy. So how many puppies do we have? Should we count? Maybe you already know the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good counting. Great job, guys. Let's see if we can get back here. We'll zoom back out. Okay. I think we have one more story. I don't want to take a long time today because it's Saturday and the sun is shining. And so I'm sorry for the short story time today, but I have a couple announcements. One is that Storytime is in person at the library. If you can come to that, it's on Thursdays. It's at 11 o'clock. And then Thursday afternoons, we normally do an activity. This week, coming up, so that's really like next week, is all about bicycles. So in the morning time, we'll have story time outside. And then in the afternoon at 1 o'clock, we'll have a bike rodeo. So if you can bring your bicycle to the library at 1, between 1 and 3, I should say, talk to mom and dad. It might be something fun to do. And what else? I think I have all my technical difficulties straightened out now, so we can have story time like this every Friday at 11. I will make every effort to not have any more troubles. What a deal that was, huh? Okay, last story. Ollie and Augustus. This is a good one. I really like this story. Ollie was small, like a pickling jar or a shoebox. Augustus was big, like a fridge or a table. They did most things together: painting, bike riding, people watching, dressing up, digging, tree climbing, stick collecting. Ollie's favorite thing, digging. Stick collecting, Augustus's favorite thing. Sometimes Ollie was annoying. Sometimes Augustus was irritating. Sometimes they got mad, but usually they made up by lunchtime. One day, everything changed. Ollie had to start school. He was worried that Augustus would be lonely. Ollie had an idea. Wanted friend for Augustus. Augustus has a fun, outgoing personality. He enjoys long walks in the park, weekend trips to the beach, watching sunsets over a bowl of water, and Friday nights at home. Looking for a dog with a sense of humor, similar interests, and a passion for stick collecting. The next morning, dogs were lined up at Ollie's door. Look at all those different kinds of dogs. The first play date was not successful. Neither was the second. None of the dogs seemed to understand Augustus's favorite things. That looks pretty funny. And Augustus didn't understand their interests: tail chasing, licking, howling, shedding, sniffing, or fetching. Worst of all, they did not understand Augustus's appreciation of sticks. Ollie was sad. Augustus would be lonely. The next day he went to school. He worried and worried. Augustus did not. He had plenty to do. And he knew Ollie would always come home. With exactly what he needed. What did you think of that one, friends? I actually think that's my favorite. Do you think your dogs just wait, or your animals wait for you when you're gone, just patiently waiting? Okay, our last thing is our project for today. Look at that. Now, this one is a dog. You could probably also make a cat, but he's pretty cute. So this is a piece of paper. It's usually a square. And you fold it in half to make a triangle, like that. And then once you have it all folded, you can open it up and glue a stick inside so that you have it. You have a triangle on a stick. And then you flip it over, flip it around. You can fold the ears down just like this. And you can make your ears any size you want them to be. And then you decorate your puppy or kitty or whatever you decide that this animal is. It's a pretty cool idea, huh? Miss Carol comes up with great projects for us. Okay, remember that next week, if you come in person to Storytime on Thursday, it's all about bicycles. And at 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we'll have a bike rodeo. And Storytime hopefully will go off online on Friday without any more problems. I am so glad I got to share with you today, friends, and I will see you soon.